Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to teach you guys about CSS combinators. A combinator is something that explains the relationship between the selectors. Okay. The CSS selector can contain more than one simple selector, and between the simple selectors we can include a combinator. There are 4 different combinators in CSS, and you guys are familiar with one of them. You've been using it for a while. The first combinator is the Descendant Selector. So what it is you put a space between 2 simple selectors to create a Descendant Selector. And here are some examples. Div space P, P space strong, div space P space strong. The Descendant Selector matches all the elements that are descendants of a specified element. An element is a descendant of another element if it is anywhere inside it. So if you have div space P, that'll select any P if it's inside a div. If you have P space strong, that'll select any strong that's inside of a P. And if you have div space P space strong, that'll select any strong that is inside a P if that P is inside a div. Alright? And we're going to go over some examples of descendant selectors. Fun stuff. Alright, so let's go. First examples. Alright. So here we have some paragraphs. Let's delete that real quick. Alright, so we have some paragraphs and we have a div. 3 paragraphs are not in the div, 3 of them are. So if we're up here and we wanted to select all the paragraphs, we would just type P. That'll select all the paragraphs. If we only want the paragraphs that are inside the div, you have to type div space P. And that'll get you all the paragraphs inside the div only. Alright, pretty easy. You guys are familiar with that. Let's move on to another example. Alright, here we go. Alright, so on this one, we've added some strongs to the last example. Okay, so let's see. So let's say you want all strongs. You just type strong. Okay, now let's pick strongs if they're inside of a div. Alright, so all of these strongs are inside of a div. Here's the div. The div has this strong directly in it, and then it has 3 paragraphs, and inside those 3 paragraphs there are strongs. But all these strongs are inside the div. Alright? And you could do P space strong, so that'll find any strong that's inside of a paragraph. And then finally, let's do div space P space strong. So that'll find strongs if they're inside of a paragraph, if that paragraph is inside of a div. So this strong here is inside a div, but it's not inside of a paragraph, so it doesn't get selected. These strongs are inside paragraphs, but these paragraphs are not inside of a div, so they don't get selected. And so these are the only 3 that get selected because they're inside of a paragraph that is inside of a div. Alright. Hope that makes sense to you guys. And then we have one more Descendant Selector example. In this one, I've added classes. Actually, I have 2 divs. One has a class, one has an ID. So this time it's going to get, ratcheted up a notch. Alright, so first I'll do div space strong. So this will select any strong inside any div. So all the strongs are getting selected because every strong is inside a div. Alright, so instead of typing div space strong, let's say we want all the strongs inside this div only. And this div has class equals super. Alright, so instead of div space strong, you could do dot super space strong. and that'll select all of these strongs because they're inside of the div that has a class equal to super. Okay. Alright. You could do dot super space p. You could do dot super space p space strong. Okay. You could go down here to this div, and so that div has an ID equal to super, or duper actually. So you do hashtag duper. So this one will select all the P's, all the strongs that are inside of a paragraph inside of this one specific div. So hashtag duper space P will get all the paragraphs. Hashtag duper space strong will get all the strongs. Okay? Alright, so that is Descendant Selectors. I'm going to stop this video and we'll catch up next time on the child selectors.